Hi folks, Ken Rust here with Louisiana Pond Management, and just wanted to talk to you because summer is finally upon us. We have had a long, cool spring, but as the summer temperatures get here and they rise into the 90s, our pond is going to go through some different type of reactions. First thing is, as the sun blazes down on your pond, it's going to heat this top section of water. It's going to warm that up. It's going to likely produce some single cell algae that's going to color the water green. That sunlight can't penetrate any further, and so when it gets here, it's what they call the thermocline. There's going to be a rapid change in temperature, and then down here at the bottom, this is not in any contact with the atmosphere. It can't get wind and rain action, and it's not getting any sunlight, so there's no photosynthesis to produce oxygen. Everything in the pond needs oxygen to live, and so that can be a problem down here below. So the fish and the other organisms in the top layer are fine. But as we get these crazy summer storms that rip across the Gulf Coast, you can rapidly remix this pond, and then you can have an oxygen stressing event. So how do we combat that is aeration. If you put diffused aeration down here at a pond bottom, then the air is injected down here, it's broken up, and those air bubbles rise to the surface. They bring an incredible amount of water from the bottom to the top. It's cool as it comes up and mixes with the atmosphere at the surface. It mixes with the warm water, and then it falls back down because the cool water is heavier than the warm water at the surface. So you get a lot of dynamic action with a diffused aeration system. That is the best, most efficient way to mix a pond, and it works very well for aeration. The other way that you can aerate this pond is with a surface aerator or a high volume aerating fountain at the surface of your pond. So it's a much more aggressive action on the water that it's processing, but it is also moving less volume than the air that's created by the diffuser here. So an aerating fountain can make a display. It makes a noise screen, but it also is doing a great job by processing that water, moving it through there, putting it under great pressure, throwing it up into the air, and letting it mix back with the atmospheric levels of oxygen and falling back into the water. There's also some evaporative cooling going on. So when you get these waters that are in the high 80s or even the low 90s up there at the surface of your pond, then those are cooling. And as that cool water hits the surface, it falls down through that warm layer. And you're going to mix that pond completely up, and then you're going to have uniform temperature, pH, nutrient distribution all throughout your pond. That is a great place for your fish to be, because then they have consistent water conditions to move throughout the pond and take advantage of all the habitat. The other thing that it does, it cools those water temperatures so that you don't get algae growth. You're going to get algae growth anywhere that water is below 3 feet. So you can get it deeper, but that's the area that's under the most stress. This here is a long, shallow beach type approach to the water. That's going to get a lot of algae growth here, and it's also going to invite our friends, the Canadian geese, to come in and out of here readily, and they're going to deposit a lot of nutrients in there, and erosion as well makes for a lot of algae. This properly constructed shore bank over here is going to have a shorter area here where you're going to have algae production. But these ponds, this is the stressful time of year for your pond and for your lake. And we have products and treatments and professional advice on how to address that. Ken Rust, Louisiana Pond Management. Contact us 308-4145.